The Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of March 3 to 7 reveal that Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers will make a wild discovery while Billy Abbott gets deceived. Audra Charles also has some risky behavior on the way, so here's what Y&R fans can expect. For starters, Billy won't realize he's being left out of the loop on something important. It looks like there'll be some new developments in the search for Phyllis that Nick Newman and Daniel Romalotti Jr. keep quiet. Billy often sabotages everything around him, so Daniel and Nick may think it's best if he stays as far away from this mystery as possible. Of course, Sharon is part of the mystery as well since she's locked up in an old mental institution with Phyllis. These enemies have been forced to become partners on a joint effort to survive their time in captivity. There are bound to be some twists and turns as Phyllis and Sharon play their captors game. Sharon and Phyllis may be pushed to their psychological limits as things go off the rails. The good news is Phyllis and Sharon will eventually make it out of this mess alive with a new understanding of each other. The bad news is Sharon and Phyllis will have to face some scary trauma until then. As for Phyllis and Sharon's captor, Y&R has to reveal who's holding them sooner or later. Even if Sharon and Phyllis don't learn who's to blame just yet, they're sure to make a wild discovery or two that could offer more hints. Meanwhile, Damian Kane will continue his efforts to woo Lily Winters and make amends with Amy Lewis. Even Damian and Nate Hastings may take the first steps toward bonding as brothers. However, Victor Newman may have growing concerns about whether Damian can be trusted, especially due to his shady Aristotle Dumas connection. Michael Baldwin will likely give Victor some stunning updates on Aristotle and how Damian fits in his agenda. Next, Audra will set some ground rules with Holden Novak when it comes to how things are going to be moving forward. Despite Audra's attempt to establish boundaries, Holden may cross some lines anyway. Although Audra claimed she told Nate the whole story about her past with Holden, that wasn't really the case. Audra's romance with Holden was much more passionate than she's divulged to Nate. Between that deception and hush-hush Holden meetings, Audra is going to set herself up for major relationship complications. Our predictions hint that Audra and Nate's future could be at risk as a result. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the week of March 3 to 7 will bring some big messes and heated face-offs, so stay tuned. Where do you want to be for fantastic Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news, so check back frequently. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. In a darkened basement room, Phyllis and Sharon lie unconscious on the floor. A buzzer blares and Sharon covers her ears and struggles awake. Looking around, she gasps, "Oh no, no, please." Standing shakily, she tells herself, "It's Oak, I'm Oak." She calls out, "Is anyone there?" The buzzer blares again. Sharon hollers that they've got her attention. "Tell me who you are." Sharon realizes she's not alone. Sharon calls out, "Is someone there?" She doesn't understand. What is this place? What happened? She wonders if she's been drugged again and hollers, "Who are you? What do you want from me?" She decides she has to get home and unearths the door but can't get it open. She bangs on it and calls out some more, crying that she has children and a granddaughter. "This is a real kidnapping. You chose me for a reason, just tell me what it is." She asks her captor to make the loud sound again if they can hear her. When the room remains silent, Sharon wonders if this is real and whether she's losing her mind. Maybe the drugs will always be with her. She decides it's real and yells out that she will protect the culprit. She warns that people will be looking for her. People who tried to hurt her before ended up dead. Taking a deep breath, she tells herself to stay calm for the kids. There has to be a way out. Spotting the window, she calls out until she turns and sees Phyllis' unconscious form. She prays this isn't like Heather and is relieved when she finds a pulse. Sharon urges her to wake up, and she does. Phyllis sits up, looks at Sharon, and says, "Oh hell no." Sharon helps Phyllis to her feet and says, "It was disorienting to me too." Phyllis asks, "Where are we? What did you do to me?" Sharon didn't do anything. Someone put them there, and she doesn't know why. She thought she was having a hallucination, but Phyllis is real. Phyllis asks if this is payback or phase 2. She got rid of Heather in the river and wants to do the same thing to her now because she calls her out. Sharon gripes that her sole purpose in life is to harass her every day, even now that they're stuck in there. Sharon muses, "Maybe this is your doing and you're lying to me. This is your revenge." Phyllis informs her if she wanted to inflict pain on her, she'd do it from afar, so she didn't have to see her face. Sharon's sure she wants to make her suffer. Phyllis points out she was unconscious on the floor. Sharon argues that she could have been faking. Phyllis decides they have to get out of there. Sharon points her toward the door, which of course won't open. Phyllis questions why Sharon isn't crying for someone to rescue her. Sharon is a bit numb at this point. She hollers that she had to get trapped with Phyllis because nothing in her life can be easy for more than 2 weeks. Phyllis pounds on the door as Sharon tries to search her pockets for the key. Phyllis yells at her to open the door. Sharon says whoever put them in there is out there. Neither of them is behind this. The loud buzzer blares again. They cringe and put their hands over their ears. Sharon says it happened before and Phyllis slept through it. Phyllis thinks they're doing it on purpose and can hear them. "Hey psycho, you think this is funny?" She wonders if Ian or Jordan did this, but they died. Sharon confirms this. Phyllis asks, "Then who is it?" They speculate if it's Ian's cult followers. Phyllis asks, "Why me? Let me go. Keep her." Sharon tells her this is dangerous and she needs to calm down. Phyllis yells, "I'm calm." Sharon tells her they need to figure out why they're there, who did this, and why they're locked up together. Phyllis says, "Maybe they want to watch us kill each other." Sharon and Phyllis agree on something. Phyllis announces they need to be resourceful and suggests Sharon would rather wait for someone to rescue her. She tries to pick the lock as Sharon complains about how she tries to make her look weak. The blonde realizes Phyllis has jammed the lock and walks over to pick up the books on the shelf. They learn they're in Havenhurst Psychiatric Hospital. They bicker about Sharon's time in facilities and Phyllis being nasty. Sharon repeats that they have to figure out who did this. "Why? Why there?" Phyllis says. "Let's go sit down." At a table, Phyllis asks Sharon if she remembers where she was before this. Sharon says she was at Crimson Lights and went out to run some errands. It's dark now and can't be the same night. Phyllis tells Sharon she was in her suite and having strange dreams. Sharon was having strange dreams too and wonders if they already had drugs in their system by then. Phyllis says she was planning to have breakfast with her kids the day after. Sharon says that's good. They'll be looking for her. Phyllis worries they might think she took off. Sharon's sure that's not the case. She wonders if Maria will try to contact her about Cassidy first. "We can't have been gone for more than 1 day, can we?" Phyllis knows their kids will panic. Sharon and Phyllis agree that someone doing this to their kids pisses them off. Searching, they realize they don't have their phones. Phyllis thinks this is a game and they should look for them. Phyllis and Sharon discuss Heather's murder. As they look high and low for their phones, they bicker. Sharon wonders how long this place has been closed, and Phyllis reminds her she should know she's a therapist. They trade barbs as Sharon suggests the redhead might have borderline personality disorder or narcissism. Phyllis says if the goal is for them to kill each other, she's making it easy. Sharon is creeped out by the idea of someone listening to them or watching. Suddenly, she finds a bag with canned food. How long do they expect us to be there? Phyllis grabs the bottled water, and Sharon warns that's how she was drugged in the sewer. Phyllis puts it down. She says they have to work together to get out of there so they can drink water from normal people again. She remarks that it must have been horrible in the sewer. Sharon tells her that the plan only made sense to Jordan and Ian. She's glad the cult leader is where he belongs now, in hell. Phyllis muses, Heather really did die for no reason, because of some vendetta that had nothing to do with her. Sharon hates it. It squeezes her heart to think of Daniel and Lucy losing the person they loved. She adds that Phyllis had to watch them suffer. Phyllis points out she helped them cover it up. Sharon's free will and her sense of judgment and decency were taken away from her. She told lie after lie, and she'll never get over it. Phyllis says, good, you shouldn't. Sharon tells Phyllis to think whatever she wants. I don't care anymore. Phyllis harps about accountability. She's letting herself off the hook. Sharon was given powerful, mind-altering poison. She was having entire conversations with herself when she thought someone else was in the room. Her family could see she was off. Phyllis saw it herself, at the most convenient time. Sharon says it was hell. Phyllis argues that what Daniel and Lucy went through was hell. She threatened and accused them. Sharon's sorry about all of it. Phyllis notes that the PCP only made her attack her family. She had so many opportunities to speak up and didn't do it. She can choke on her tears and regret. Sharon questions it being more important for Phyllis to tear into her than to find a way out. To you, I'm just a target. Is she weak or a supervillain? Phyllis says, both. It depends what she wants and who she wants it from. Sharon tells her to use this energy to find a way out of there. Sharon and Phyllis are playing a deadly game. Realizing that Phyllis is scared, Sharon complains that she's a bully full of hate and rage. When she faked her death and put her children through hell, that was her too. Phyllis says her children have forgiven her. Sharon says her spite was more important to her than her children. It took poison in her blood to make her rage come out, but Phyllis is the poison. She yells and then asks Phyllis if she wants to do something useful and get out of there, so they never have to speak to each other again. Phyllis thinks these people want her to take Sharon out, but she won't do it. She makes her own choices. Crying, she said she wants to go home and move on with her life. She tells Sharon, we have to work together to get out of here. Sharon tells her that's the first thing she said that they can agree on. The buzzer blares again, and then music starts playing. Phyllis says this is really dramatic. They're the cast, this is the scene, and this is the soundtrack. Hey, you freak. What do you want? As the music continues, Phyllis keeps hollering at the freak and becoming increasingly agitated. Sharon tells her to stop for a second. Does this music sound familiar? It could be a message. Phyllis doesn't care anymore. Sharon points out the song is making Phyllis more tense. It's part of the game. Phyllis goes wild, banging on the door and threatening to bash in their heads. The music stops. Sharon warns, that was a mistake. They realize it's a game. Phyllis says it's us against them, and they don't know what we're capable of. Sharon says they'll have to show them. What do you say, Phyllis? You want to play? Phyllis replies, why the hell not? Looking up at the ceiling, they ask what the rules are. A disguised voice intones, now we're getting somewhere. Phyllis asks their name. He says it's not important. The voice says this is about the two of them, no one else. They have to work as a team in this game. Phyllis asks, what's the prize? The voice replies, staying alive. The Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Victoria Newman could fall for a bad boy billionaire if Aristotle Dumas steals Cole Howard's love interest. Could a fresh romance be on the horizon for Victoria? Cole and Victoria's love story worked when they were bonding over finding their long-lost daughter, Claire Newman. However, Victoria and Cole are just a boring couple now with no other storyline opportunities. I&R has reached the point where it might be best to split Cole and Victoria up. It would open the door to some juicy drama, especially if Victoria falls for the bad boy billionaire who seems poised to hit Genoa City soon. That brings us to Aristotle Dumas, the mysterious corporate player at the center of Victor Newman's latest investigation. Aristotle keeps a very low profile and seemingly goes to great lengths to cover his tracks when it comes to any shady activities. It's clear that Aristotle has made a lot of money through his willingness to make his own rules and pave his own way. Victoria has tried to settle down with Cole, but she tends to be drawn to men who are good for her. Aristotle's description is almost reminiscent of Ashland Locke, so perhaps he's Victoria's type. Victoria may want to give her heart to someone she can trust like Cole, but that doesn't offer any dramatic potential. The better story is for Victoria to fall for someone who's dangerous and all wrong for her again, especially someone who Victor's going to disapprove of. Aristotle and Victor could have a rivalry brewing, so Victoria might get caught in the middle if she meets Aristotle and develops feelings for him. Since there aren't any photos of Aristotle anywhere, it'd be easy for him to give Victoria a fake name and perhaps connect with her over drinks at the bar. Victoria might find Aristotle intriguing without knowing who he is or the concerns Victor would have. Maybe Victoria could ultimately cheat on Cole or at least fall for Aristotle after a breakup. One way or another, Victoria could use a romance that would lead to some chaos, so maybe pairing her up with Aristotle could make that happen. Our Vi and our predictions point to Victoria having some surprises in her future, so we'll bring you updates on any shocking news and new roads she might head down. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Victoria could make some changes to her life, so stay tuned. This is where you want to be for the hottest Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates, so make us your go-to source. After the Heather murder mystery drama and Jordan and Ian being off the radar, there is still a lot more drama left for fans. Be it Phyllis and Sharon having gone missing, or all of the family troubles between Nate, Amy, and Damien. To add to it, there are love triangles and resurging romances. There's plenty to look forward to, and here's what longtime viewers and avid watchers can expect from the interesting Genoa City in the February 26, 2025 episode of The Young and the Restless when they tune into ABC to watch the popular, award-winning, and long-running daytime drama. In this episode, Victor recruits Michael to help Lily. Now that the two have called a truce, will they work together for their goals, or is Lily going to stay doubtful of the Newman patriarch considering his ability to be ruthless? It is also something to be considered that last time, he promised her something but did not deliver after he had gotten the information he needed from her. Up next, Damien puts down roots in Genoa City. Just a few days ago, he wanted nothing to do with the place or the family drama that came with the revelations shared by Nate and Amy. Now, he seems to have other things on his mind. Has his meeting with Lily and his interest in her fueled his decision to stay in town? Will he be successful in his endeavor to win her? Lastly, Adam pulls out all the stops to impress Chelsea. He hasn't been the most convincing about the fact that he actually likes her, and has instead only considered the possibility after their son Connor expressed his desire to see them back together. After Chelsea showed her indecisiveness again, it seems like she is willing to cling to him now that she doesn't have Billy. Especially now that Chelsea has moved in with Adam and Connor at the ranch. The family of 3 ideas is moving forward. She has changed her mind for the time and is willing to give this a chance since Billy has refused to forgive her or get back with her after the betrayal. Will Adam be successful in recreating the family, or will his feelings for Sally re-emerge? The spoiler photos feature Lily and Damien having a chat over a meal. He wears a blue pantsuit, and she coincidentally matches him in a blue and white dress. Will sparks fly between the two, leading to some romance, or is something else up their sleeves when it comes to this surprising meetup? Is the Young and the Restless cast fearful of their jobs? That's what a lot of fans of the hit CBS soap can't help but wonder, as there seems to be several reasons behind this too. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. The Young and the Restless cast fearful of their jobs. It's no secret that it has been an uphill battle for the long-running soap. That's because a lot of fans have been having a very hard time following any of the most recent storylines that they have been tuning out more than they've been tuning in. Because of this, the ratings have been hitting one low after another, which is making producers very nervous. And if that were enough, they are also getting some major competition from the new kid in town, Beyond the Gates. So far, the new soap has been getting stellar reviews. Not only that, but it seems like CBS has invested a lot of money into BTG, as many critics have noticed that they have a bigger and much better set than Y and R+. The clothes look like they actually come from the year 2025. For the cast of The Young and the Restless, it wouldn't surprise anyone if they were fearful for their jobs. After all, the daytime television market is pretty small as it is, and there won't be room for 5 soaps. Sooner or later one will have to go, and there's a good chance that it will be the lowest rated one. Y and R spoilers. What's next for Genoa City? So far, the producers of the show have not made any comments about the matter just yet, but we will definitely update you with all of the latest details the moment they come in. Watch this space. Until then, Y and R fans will just have to tune in to find out what will happen next. The Young and the Restless airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. The Young and the Restless has always been known for its complicated relationships, dark family secrets, and intrigue. In the upcoming episodes, one of the most intriguing stories involves Claire and Victor Newman's secret investigation into her past. While everyone in the Newman family still doesn't know the truth about Claire, Victor, who is always one step ahead of the game, decides to find out what is being hidden. But will the truth about Claire and her biological father change everything they know about this girl? And will the appearance of Aristotle, a mysterious character, be related to Claire? Victor Newman, the secret hunter. Victor Newman, with his cautious and calculating nature, always seizes every opportunity to help his family gain ultimate power. For Victor, information is power, and there is nothing he cannot do to exploit the smallest secrets. In a surprising turn of events, Victor begins investigating the past of Claire, the daughter of one of the most important people in his life. It all starts when Victor discovers that Claire, although always believed to be Cole's daughter, may not actually be his. Claire's real father is still unknown, and it is a secret that Victor is determined to uncover. If Claire is not Cole's child, this could change a lot about the relationship between the Newman family and Claire, as well as affect the way she views and deals with her family members. Victor decides to investigate this secret, following every trace and seeking information from reliable sources. Although no one knows exactly what Victor is doing, once he sets his mind to something, it is difficult for anyone to stop him. His investigative methods are sophisticated and not easily detected. He begins to approach sources, asking people who may have been involved in Claire's past, and trying to uncover the truth about her biological father. Aristotle's appearance, the mysterious man. While Victor is quietly investigating, a new character appears in Claire's life, Aristotle. Aristotle's arrival is surprising and creates unpredictable events. A man with a charming and mysterious presence, Aristotle is not only a big name in the business world, but also has a shady past that no one knows about. What makes Aristotle's appearance even more interesting is his ambiguous relationship with Claire. At first, Claire has no reason to be suspicious of Aristotle. He treats her politely and courteously, showing no signs of bad intentions. However, as Victor learns more about Aristotle, he discovers that the connection between Aristotle and Claire may not be a simple coincidence. Could Aristotle be part of the secret Victor is seeking? Is Aristotle actually Claire's real father who has been kept hidden all this time? An investigation beyond expectations. Victor does not give up easily. Once he decides to investigate, the deeper he digs, the more he finds that things are not right. The connections between Aristotle and key figures in the business world are not coincidental. Aristotle's presence in Genoa City, combined with the vague information about Claire's past, makes Victor begin to suspect that there is a grand plan at play. This becomes even more complicated when conversations with Claire and those close to her reveal unusual details. Claire, though she doesn't say it outright, seems to be keeping secrets about her past that she doesn't want to share. Victor's investigations bring him closer to the truth, and this could change Claire's entire life, especially her relationship with the Newman family. Aristotle, what's behind the name? The truth about Aristotle remains a big question. Although he appears to be a charming and influential figure, his connection to Claire and the Newman family is unclear. Some believe that Aristotle may be part of a larger conspiracy, while others believe he is simply someone who can help Claire learn about her true origins. However, once Victor begins his investigation, there is no stopping him from getting to the truth. What makes Aristotle so special is that no one really understands his goals. If he truly has a connection with Claire, what were his motives for coming to Genoa City and getting close to her? Could this relationship be part of a plan Aristotle had laid out all along? Or was he simply seeking to forge a relationship with the Newman family for his own benefit? The bigger picture. The story of Claire and Victor's investigation into her biological father will not be just a simple family story. It will lead to a series of unexpected events where long-hidden secrets will gradually be exposed. The truth about Claire's past, her relationship with Aristotle, and the details connected to the Newman family will create a huge wave that will not only change the lives of those involved, but also keep the audience glued to the screen. In the end, the most important question is, will Victor find out the truth about Claire, and is Aristotle part of a grand plan? Stories about family, power, and complicated relationships are gradually revealed, and the audience will certainly not be able to predict what happens next. Everything is still unclear, and only time will uncover these profound secrets. In the complex world of the young and the restless, nothing is random. Every decision is deeply calculated and intertwined with intricate relationships. It's the end of an era for the young and the restless fans as Haley Aaron, who brought Claire Grace to life, prepares to say goodbye. Her final scenes are said to be unforgettable, but the reason behind her departure is even more heartbreaking. What led to this shocking exit, and what does it mean for the future of Claire's storyline? A short-lived but powerful run. Haley Aaron's arrival as Claire Grace immediately shook things up in Genoa City. Introduced as a seemingly sweet and helpful nurse, Claire's story took a dark turn when she was revealed to be involved in the shocking kidnapping of Nikki Newman. However, her character's redemption arc quickly won over viewers, and many hoped she would stick around for the long haul. But just as Claire was starting to rebuild her life and form real connections, news broke that Haley Aaron would be making her exit. The timing has left fans stunned. Why now, just as Claire's story was getting interesting? Why is Haley Aaron leaving IHR? Though neither Aaron nor the Young and the Restless has released an official statement, inside sources suggest that the decision was not entirely hers. Some speculate that the writers may have struggled to integrate Claire fully into the Newman family, leading to her early departure. Others believe that Aaron may have other projects in the works. As a daytime Emmy-winning actress with a history of success on General Hospital, she has plenty of opportunities waiting for her. Could she be eyeing a return to primetime or even another soap? Regardless of the reason, her exit feels sudden and unexpected, leaving fans heartbroken over what could have been. How will Claire's story end? Now, the biggest question remains: how will IHR wrap up Claire's storyline? Will Claire get a bittersweet send-off, choosing to leave Genoa City for a fresh start? Or will tragedy strike, forcing an emotional goodbye that no one saw coming? Some speculate that she may take the fall for Jordan's crimes, sacrificing her freedom to protect the Newmans. Others hope for an open-ended departure, leaving the door open for a possible return. What's next for Haley Aaron? Though she's saying goodbye to Y&R, Haley Aaron's career is far from over. She's proven her talent time and time again, and fans will be eagerly awaiting news of her next big project. Could a return to General Hospital as Kiki Jerome be in the cards? Or will she surprise everyone with a brand new role? Whatever the case, one thing is certain: this is not the last we'll see of Haley Aaron. A heartfelt goodbye. As her final episode approaches, fans are bracing for an emotional farewell. Haley Aaron's portrayal of Claire Grace may have been short-lived, but it left a lasting impact. Whether you loved her character's redemption arc or wished she had more time to develop, there's no denying that her exit will leave a void in Genoa City. Are you sad to see Haley Aaron go? How do you think Claire's story should end? Let us know your thoughts as we prepare to say goodbye to one of Y&R's most intriguing new characters. The Young and the Restless spoilers and updates tease Victor Newman might stage a health crisis and take drastic measures to sabotage Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman's romance. Fans will recall that this isn't his first act of deception. He once went so far as to fake his own death to get back at Adam Newman. Victor can't force Claire into giving up Kyle, but he can manipulate her. While Victor lacks the power to directly compel Claire to comply with his wishes, he certainly possesses the skill to sway her perspective to align with his own. Viewers are aware that Victor sustained injuries following his recent confrontation with Ian Ward, leaving him vulnerable and irritable during his recovery. This harrowing experience has left a mark on his family, who face the terrifying possibility of losing him. At some point, Victor may choose to exploit this situation, feigning medical issues to gain the upper hand. One can easily envision him staging a heart attack, or at least pretending to faint as part of his cunning strategy. Victor could pretend to collapse or have some other big medical setback in Claire's presence. Victor might orchestrate a dramatic medical crisis right in front of Claire. He could goad Kyle into their most explosive confrontation yet, making it appear as though Kyle is the architect of this chaos. Pushed to his limits, Kyle may finally snap, unleashing a torrent of anger like never before. As he confronts Victor with fury, Victor could suddenly collapse, providing Claire with a front-row view of the entire spectacle. Although Claire has promised Kyle that she won't allow Victor to interfere with their love, her grandfather's health emergency could sway her perspective. Claire may reevaluate at that point whether defying Victor is worth it. Claire might find herself reassessing her values, ultimately concluding that the situation isn't worth the emotional toll. If she believes her romantic decisions could jeopardize Victor's health, the weight of that responsibility may become too heavy for her to bear. She could confide in Kyle, expressing that she cannot put her family through this turmoil and that they must stop exacerbating Victor's stress. Should Kyle imply that Victor is merely pretending, Claire could take offense, providing her with yet another reason to distance herself from him. If Kyle's suspicions are correct and Victor is indeed staging a medical crisis, Claire could be left seething with anger at Victor when the truth eventually surfaces. Victor has manipulated his family through medical ordeals before. In any case, Victor has a history of fabricating health crises to twist the emotions of his family. Claire could very well be in for an intense lesson about Victor's relentless tactics. Signs point toward her encountering some distressing revelations in the near future, and we'll monitor any hospital visits Victor arranges to deceive her. Spoilers indicate that Victor is ready to stop at nothing to drive a wedge between Kyle and Claire, so be sure to stay alert for the latest on his cunning plans. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with Y&R right now. Come back here often for the Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates. Amid the eerie corridors of the abandoned asylum, where Sharon and Phyllis faced their orchestrated nightmare. Another battle raged within the opulent halls of the Newman estate. Summer, once a beloved member of the family, had transformed into an unpredictable force driven by ambition and resentment. Reckless and relentless, she had attacked Victoria, sending shockwaves through the family. But that was just the beginning. Behind closed doors, Summer was plotting something far more sinister: the elimination of Claire, whom she saw as an obstacle to her vision of the future. Victoria, ever composed and strategic, saw through Summer's deception. She was determined to expose her cousin's hidden agenda, but Summer remained elusive, masking her true motives behind charm and cunning. Their rivalry evolved into a silent war, fought with whispers, glances, and calculated moves. Caught in the middle was Kyle, torn between two powerful women. Summer's fiery ambition promised excitement, while Victoria's unwavering poise offered stability. As tensions escalated, he found himself questioning who truly had his best interests at heart. The weight of loyalty, love, and ambition threatened to pull him apart. As the Newman family watched the brewing conflict with growing concern, Victor, the formidable patriarch, stepped in. Calling a family meeting, his voice thundered with frustration. "This family cannot afford to crumble over petty rivalries," he declared. "We stand together, or we fall apart." His ultimatum was clear: Summer and Victoria had to end their feud immediately. The tension in the room was palpable as his words echoed through the estate. Some saw his intervention as a chance to restore unity, while others viewed it as a stark reminder that power and loyalty were inseparable. Despite Victor's command, the underlying tensions remained. Summer, ever the enigma, continued to hide her true intentions behind layers of deception. Victoria remained determined to unveil them. And Kyle, watching the drama unfold, realized that every choice he made carried the weight of possible ruin. Meanwhile, far from the grand halls of the Newmans, the dark forces at play in the asylum lingered in the background, an ominous reminder that the most dangerous enemies often lurk in the shadows, unseen yet always watching. In celebration of the young and the restless 13,000th episode, the soap will unveil a new yet familiar set. The Newman Ranch is being renovated after being burnt down over a decade ago. While giving a tour, two of the series' actors shared their reactions to the set's restoration. Eric Braeden and Melody Thomas Scott gave a tour of the set. In the series, the home belonging to Melody Thomas Scott's Nikki Newman was burnt down in 2012 by Sharon. However, over a decade later, the set is being rebuilt. Eric Braeden's Victor secretly rebuilt the property to surprise Nikki, his wife. Everything is meant to resemble the ranch as viewers remember it. Reportedly, he was able to keep the project a surprise due to the sheer size of the Newman Ranch. The reveal is expected to take place on Friday, November 8, on CBS. The event is timely as the show is also about to release its 13,000th episode. Both Scott and Braeden have talked about what it was like seeing the set firsthand. Braeden admitted that, "I never thought that I'd become attached to a set where I worked but 44 years. Imagine that." He continued, "I was actually moved to tears because it was so long coming, you know." While appearing in a Deadline video, Scott also noted the staircase. Braeden reminded her that, "I used to carry you up that." In turn, Scott joked that, "You're gonna do that again today." The Young and the Restless is about to release a milestone episode. Noting how important it was for fans, Scott also noted that, "Oh, it feels like the original. When I'm in there, I feel like that's my house again because I always felt very protective." Scott continued that, "It was my house and now it's my house again. And I've wanted this back here for so long." She then mused, "See if you hang around long enough, your greatest desires will come true." Head writer and executive producer Josh Griffith shared that, "The Newman Ranch burning down was an emotional story for the Newmans, but it was not lost on us that the Newman family and Genoa City just weren't the same without Victor and Nikki's original home. We've discussed bringing the set back for many years and decided that its return around Y&R's 13,000th episode would be perfect timing to help celebrate this incredible milestone, as well as the legacy of Victor and Nikki. I must give special thanks to Y&R's art department and stage crew, who went above and beyond in executing the return of one of Y&R's most iconic sets. Fans will get to see the new set on the show before the series releases its upcoming milestone episode. The 13,000th episode will air on November 13, 2024. Photos of the set have been uploaded online. To see the video of the ranch, featuring Braden and Scott, you can watch it on Deadline.